I want to talk to you about your hair. Look at the cool new do.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, it's pinned back.
Okay.
And it's like really long and grown out Joan hair, which is like, it's hard to grow out a shag. I'm just like basically trying to like, my hair is like the bane of my hair's not mine. Do you know what I mean? My hair's always just a part's hair.
Right, it's the character's hair.
Yeah.
Is it longer than, because since it's pinned up right now?
Yeah, it's longer than this. It's like...
Shoulder length?
It's grown out like since I cut it for the movie, like almost like 3.5 inches. It's growing really fast.
Right, a shag is so hard because you have so many different layers in there.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to grow bangs out. Very
like,
frustrating.
When they cut it, the first thing they did, I had long hair to here. They took it up on top and just chopped off, like, and left all of this long.
Did
so
you
the
cry
first
when
thing-
you saw all the hair on the floor?
It tripped me out, I have to say. It was
Yeah.
cool though. I mean, I was like so in the right headspace to get rid of it and do Joan.
So how hard was it to be you're in sort of the Bella New Moon mode, then you go to play Joan Jett, then you come back and have to get back to Bella. What was that difficulty level?
I have to say, had I been able to have more time to do the Joan thing, I would have chosen that, but it was one of those fleeting moments that you just jump on.
Yeah.
And it proved to not be so hard to get back into the state of mind for Bella. I mean, we have like such established dynamics, especially by the third one, that, I mean, the second you walk onto a set and you see Taylor and Rob and everyone's the same, it's sort of like, oh, I know exactly what I'm here for.
And in this film, you form a new sort of special bond with Taylor's character. Describe that process of sort of learning that new type of relationship.
Actually, that's a good point. Is I think one of the things that the movie is about is that that as much as you think you know something for 1 second, that you could be wrong, and that you'll probably be able to find yourself comfortable in many different positions in life, in different relationships with different people. I mean, Bella with Edward couldn't be different than Bella with Jacob. She's a completely different person. But she's really cool with both of them. So, I mean, they couldn't be, the contrast sort of is like, I feel like that's what the movie's about.
When the camera stopped rolling, describe how Robert is different from Taylor.
I mean, they're just completely different guys. I mean, Taylor's like really happy-go-lucky. He's really light, and actually that sort of mirrors. That's how Jacob is too. He's always smiling, and he's just a really good guy. Rob is a really good guy too. He's like a little bit more. He's. I don't want to say that he's more complicated, because I bet if you broke down their character, I bet they're both like equally as complex.
Right.
I think Rob considers things a little bit more. I think he drives himself a little bit crazier, like as well as I do. If we could take a lesson from Taylor, I think me and Rob could probably both like have easier lives.
Do you think that you both internalize things more and think before you speak, or like what's that difference? What's that nuance between that it makes you and Rob similar in that respect?
I don't know what it is. I think that some people just are. I don't know. Later, I think that Taylor just has like a really. But at the same time, like when I'm around him, he brings that out of me. You know what I mean? Like Jacob and Taylor have that in common. It's sort of like it's really easy to smile around him. I don't know if necessarily I don't know.
And let's talk about the kissing scenes, because you have an opportunity. I don't want to give anything away, but there's potential opportunity to kiss both. Of course, we know that you're going to be kissing Rob in this movie.
Right.
So every girl in the theater, by the way, was like, ah! So jealous of you at that moment.
No, it's totally weird having to kiss people on a movie set, always. But I've always felt so, like, with this series at least, I've always been placed in such a complete environment. Like, the only way, I'm not a good liar. Like, the only way that I could really, the only way that I can really feel like I've brought something to life is if, as soon as you call cut, I sort of go like, whoa, hello. You know what I mean? Like, snap back. So luckily it wasn't as awkward as, it would be so weird having to kiss, like, two different people on the same set.
Or in that moment, you're able to make it very real for yourself.
Yeah, luckily. Or else it would probably, it would be such a mind weirdness game thing that would, like, totally bog me down. I do it for the experience. I do it like you read something and you don't necessarily know that the result is going to be like this big franchise movie that's really huge. As you start out, it's about wanting to experience it and wanting to tell the story. And
it's been so insane with the hype around this film, the fan pandemonium and frenzy, the paparazzi, which I know has got to get so frustrating as they hound you every time you walk out your door, especially if you're with Rob. How do you deal with that?
I've had to sort of tell myself to just get more comfortable with it because it's not going anywhere. and also sort of keep what's yours, and as long as, it's funny, like, I was so concerned, like, on the first press thing with Twilight, like, the first round of this stuff, I was so concerned about coming across sincere about something that I really loved that I refrained. Like, I didn't want to say, like, sappy things. Like, I didn't want to say, like, I'm putting my heart and soul into something and it's like people are consuming it and, like, making it something different. And it's sort of like, now I've sort of realized that if you just, like, stay honest and, like, if you just relax, like, you won't be ashamed of anything that you say at the end of the day, and you'll also be able to walk out of the hotel and smile at the paparazzi and say, like, I hate that this guy is getting a payday, but at least like the fans get to see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Because that's sort of, they like that.
There are so many rumors that go around, and it's got to be so agonizing every day to read something else about yourself or about the relationship you may or may not be in. When people are constantly berating you and asking you, are you and Rob dating, what goes through your mind, and what do you say to them?
The only way that I'm able to stay sane is to protect myself, and, like, I know that it doesn't matter how you answer a question, it's gonna, like, tip. Someone's going to say, she's totally with him, or, no, I don't think she is. So it's sort of like, I don't care. You just have to seriously be like, have it all. Take my, you know what I mean? Just like, you want my shoes? Here you go. What size do you wear? Right. It's sort of like, you just have to not really worry about it. I'm not ashamed of anything, so it's sort of, when asked, why don't I make my life easier and just, like, say why, right. Do you think it would stop there? Like, they would continue. It's not like they would say, okay, cool, we're going to stop waiting outside your house, we're going to stop following you around. Yeah. It's not going to happen, so I'm going to keep it to myself.